Well, we're back. It's been 2 weeks since I've been able to come back, but we came back. Got a truckload of goodies, lumber, and we're gonna put in another 2.5 days of work. Well, a half day and a half a day. See what we can't get done. Okay, ridge hits the tree. I take the chainsaw and cut a chunk out the tree, but that's probably not a good thing. It goes over here where we don't have any handrail because it's such a narrow dang thing. So what we're gonna do, well, this is my plan. I got a piece of scrap OSB and I cut it around the tree and I put the ridge. This is how long we need it. So this will sit on the existing ridge and this will hang out over space. And this little prop right here that Debbie's holding is the right height to go underneath the bottom, because the bottom of the ridge over there should be the same as this. So let's give it a try. So we got a little nail bent over, and that should hold it on the ridge until I can get up there and maybe get a screw in it, maybe. You want to film and me doing this and tell everybody how stupid I am? Well, the ridge went up kind of like I planned. The plywood held it in line with the other ridge, the existing ridge, and the prop, the strut, held it up to the right elevation. The problems arose when I went to put a screw into that strut to make it fast. I couldn't reach it. There was no way I could reach it. I can't get a step ladder out. There's not enough room on the backside of this tree. I couldn't reach it any other way, so I got my extension ladder and carried it around to this end and extended it up, and I worked it off the extension ladder. My bride was not too happy about it, but I'm real comfortable on an extension ladder. So with the strut screwed at the top, I doubled it up with a 2x and put a bunch of screws in that, and then we had something sort of secured to move our handrails out. So it's getting better all the time. Put the first rafter up on the opposite side, still no video. I screwed the top from the extension ladder, and now I'm putting up the second rafter. It's going up pretty good once I got the cut straightened out. Now she has calmed down enough to ask her to use the camera, so we're back on as a team. It's going to be kind of tricky.
I should note we're only 20 feet up in the air.
No, we're not. We're 11.
Excuse me,
11 to the deck.
11 to the deck.
I'm still kind of struggling here with access. I prefer to stick my head up between the rafters and the stripping, the 5/4 by 6, and I feel secure that way, but the OSB is still in place and I'm hesitant to remove it. So yeah, I'm struggling here.
If I could take a minute to do a little commentary, is it any wonder that I got a little bit panic-stricken when Barry was at the top of this ladder?
You might can tell by the tone of her voice that she wasn't too crazy about the whole deal, but yeah, that's passed. And now that I have a few screws in the barge rafter, it's like a whole nother ball game. I got something to lean on. It can't fall. Well, I guess it could fall, but I've got something to rest against. Big difference than just having air on the outside of you.
Another perilous perch.
We're getting there. Are you filming?
I'm filming.
This is not very exciting. I gotta cut this board. 30 inches.
What are we doing now?
We're tying the new ridge to the old ridge. And I got a remove part of this wood, and the chainsaw would be ideal, but I don't got. We're gonna make a lot of noise with the skill saw, trying to make it do something it doesn't want to do. Let's see. Angle. Almost cabinet grade, almost cabinetry, furniture grade cut. Okay, that's pretty good. Our new ridge is a little higher than the other one. This needs to go. This is temporary.
Okay.
I want a tree here, and then I want the two panels, one here and one there. So, but I gotta go cut a tree. And I know two trees that are hindering the growth of an oak tree, so they volunteered. So we're gonna we're gonna go eat, get the chainsaw. We're gonna take those two volunteer pine trees, cut them down, and drag them over here.
Very good. Okay.
I'm gonna take out these two pine trees. Why these two?
Because there's an oak sapling in the middle, more than a sapling, and it is far enough away from the power lines that it potentially could grow and be a big, beautiful oak. And we have 1 million pine trees and not many oaks.
And they're right by the road, so I don't have to drag them through the woods.
Okay.
That's important.
That's a plus for us.
Plus for us.
I want to position myself so the tree doesn't fall on my head.
I don't know which way it's going to fall.
But yeah, I figured that. He just said he doesn't know which way it's going to fall. Oh, it's gonna go into the woods. Nope. Here it comes. Here it comes. This one is a little bit heavier. The trunk is bigger. About the same height. Well, not quite. Here she comes.
Thought I was videotaping this, but apparently we just have 2 photographs. So you'll have to use your imagination. We did pull these down the road to the treehouse. Had a good score this morning. 3 doors made with wood screws, and they're like in perfect condition with the hinge on one side, and a bunch of 1x6 V-groove siding, and it's all redwood. Good treehouse wood. Just got the last of 6 hinges unscrewed with these little rusty screws. So now I have 2 door panels that can, I got to get the latch off too. I have 2 door panels that can go up on that back wall I've been working on. It's a new day. Debbie and I worked pretty hard yesterday. It doesn't really show that much, but we got this overhang done. This overhang was harder than the other overhang. The other overhang, I had room to get between this tree and kneel down facing the cliff, which is not as scary as kneeling down with your side to the cliff. Because if you go over sideways, there's no stopping. We had the same situation here. On this side, I was able to line the ridge up with my plywood aid, but then it didn't line up with the structure because the structure is very random. So I put the pine tree post on the corner of the structure, and it came out kind of offset a little bit. And then I did the best I could to line up these wall panels. This has to come down. This is temporary. And now it's much less scary on this edge because we have some handrail, even if it's temporary. And I went to Lowe's this morning in Macomb, which is a 30-minute drive, which is a very pleasant drive. And I got some more 2x4s, so we should be able to finish the handrails here and here. I got my pine tree posts, so we can finish the handrail here. I got this framed up, and I have some boards so we can side this up and put the window in. So yeah, oh, I also need to cut some, I need to put a little rafter here on this side of the tree to hold up the 1x. I need to add a 1x around the tree to hold up the cut sheet metal. And I'll probably, well, this side's not too bad. That 1x came out short, so I'll put another one there. So yeah, we got some work to do with the rafters before this is totally finished, but not much, bunch of little boards. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do this morning is take that temporary post out, take this temporary handrail off and scoot it out to this permanent 2x4. And then I need to figure out a way to brace this 2x4 a little better at the top because it doesn't have squat. And then we'll add a rafter, add another little jack rafter. Trying to find a smarter way to mark the jack rafters, and apparently this is not the way. So all I needed was this line. This angle should be 4 on 12, I think, which is 20 degrees. So I got my saw, got the saw set on 20 degrees, and I will cut it from the top. And now I have a semi-decent place to work. I got sawhorses, so it's not as sketchy as the ones in the last video. Yeah, I don't think, it doesn't look right. Let's ruin this piece. Let's try it on the other side. The other side's a little shorter and I can still use this board. Well, I ruined the heck out of that 2x4. So I got another one up here. I got my 4 on 12. I got it straight up from here vertically. It's an inch higher. Well, it's several inches higher, but it should come down parallel to whatever it is now. It's overlapping the, I'm calling it the barge rafter. So I just need to draw lines straight up from here, and it worked last time. Let's try it again. Well, you know, it doesn't look right. It looks like it should be sloping one way or the other. It's almost perpendicular, but that's my line. So I'm gonna take it down and cut it. Hope I don't mess this one up. Oh, it's okay. I can cut it. I can save it. Cut it from the wrong way. But I can save it. I'm glad I caught that on camera. Perfect. So it wasn't square cut. It had like a 7-degree kick to it, but the fit is pretty damn good for treehouse. So yeah, I got one more on the other side to do similar to this, and then put some 1-bys around the tree to hold the sheet metal, and brace that corner up there. We can put up handrail, real handrail, permanent handrail. All right, I got it marked, I think. It's not adjacent, opposite the other rafter, because I wanted to touch the tree because I want to get a screw in it, because this little short ridge here doesn't have jack holding it, so getting it screwed to this tree will help. And marked it with my new pencil, so it should be good. I can't figure these angles, but I bet my buddy Chip could do it. He's smarter than I am. So this is the mark I got, and again, it figures roughly 8 degrees. You know, each side's a little different, but if I average them together. So I'm gonna cut it and cross my fingers, put it up there. Can't put this post up yet because I need to trim the decking, or I could put it up, but let's trim the decking, make it much easier. Turns out the post is just a little too long. I have to trim it with a skill saw. So back on the sawhorses. So I've marked all the tree posts on the ground and cut them with the chainsaw, which is much easier, and I get a better cut than trying to go around them with a skill saw. Didn't always get them just right. Now these bare poles are the ones that the local power company cut down to deliver power to our property, and I saved a bunch of them from the burn pile to use to put under the tracks of my track hoe to keep me from sinking into the bog when I was doing other work with the track hoe. They've been laying around for, I guess, close to a year now, and they're in good shape. They're much lighter than the new ones, and they're not sticky like the new ones, so they're a little easier to mess with. However, I don't have any longer ones that can reach the where the center part of the handrail. Those posts are taller, and I don't have any old ones that are that tall, so I'm using the ones that me and Debbie cut down the day before or yesterday, and they're very, very heavy, and they're very, very sticky everywhere I take the hatchet and peel the bark off. And getting them level just involves looking at them and lining up with other things, because you can't use a 4-foot level. They all have a bow or bumps or whatever, but I can usually get them straight enough where the handrail will be reasonable. And then play a constant game of keeping up some sort of temporary handrail and moving them out the way for the permanent handrail. So I don't like to have nothing, so I make do, but sometimes I have nothing. But those instances are fairly rare. So I got temporary handrail out the way. I can put my permanent 2x4 down there, both of them, and then I got a middle post. We'll just kind of make it fit. It's more for aesthetics than for anything. Let's cut a 2x4. So after I screw the long one in, I'm screwing a short one here. I'm cutting it at half of this square column, because when I do the new ladder entry, this handrail will go all the way across. So, and additionally, if in the future, if this post rots away, the handrail will be supported by this post. And if they both rot away, that means my sons are not doing their due diligence. But yeah, it just gives an extra safety factor having that corner tied to both posts, both columns, both posts. Tree post in the middle. It's pretty much decorative. This is such a short span, but I got them, so I'm gonna put them. But I don't know if the bark's gonna come off of these or if it's gonna stay on. Depends on what time of year you cut them down. And and I don't know what's what. So anyway, I'm taking the bark off where I need to put the screws. So I don't want the screws in bark. I want the screws in wood. So it's easy enough. Makes them sticky. I don't know how long they'll be sticky. Probably maybe a long time, but anyway, that's good. That'll keep the kids from climbing on them. And I have no idea where this thing's going to fit in relation to the rafter. It'd be nice if it fit on the inside of the rafter. Then I'm not relying on screws to hold it up. It would be between the handrail and the rafter. But I don't know. So let's chunk it up there and see what happens. Alright, can you see? I have no idea. Okay. Let's see. Okay. No, I believe it's going to be on the outside of the rafter. Like way on the outside of the rafter. Well, no, not so much. Boy, I wish I had a clamp within arm's reach. But I do have a screw. I'm gonna drop this thing. Okay, put this down. Drop the screw. Put the screw here, and get the drill. Put it forward. All right. Is it in the middle? 32. Pretty close. Will it come? I think it'll come all the way to the... I think it'll work. It's too long, so... Okay, so I want to chop the bark because I don't want it to be behind the tow rail. I want to chop this bark. I want to chop this bark, which is already kind of chopped. I want to cut it because it's too long. I'm going to cut it right here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take it down, put it back on the bench. Okay. Big bad boy's heavy. Okay, get a good view of my rear end. Alright, let me chop some bark. Nothing special to look at. Turn you off. Okay, it's going back up. This time I have 2 C-clamps ready for action. It's all freaking sticky. Chop some bark. Okay. Okay. Fits right there. I don't have to notch it or anything. Ta-da! Put some screws in it. I might be calling it a day. We've been out here all day long. I was at Lowe's before they opened at 6 o'clock this morning. talking about. I quit. So I pulled this door out of a dumpster yesterday. It was a monumental effort because it had like 6 feet of crap on top of it. And there was a lot of broken glass involved. So it's got 3 broken panes. I had some glass in the attic, but it doesn't fit. And I got these 2 windows I took off the front of the shop. And I can't even give these things away, so I'm gonna try to extract the glass out of here to patch this up. And I think I'm gonna use this for a window in the treehouse. It's structurally, it's not too bad. I wouldn't want it as a door of my house, but for a fixed window, I think it's gonna be okay. But let's see if I get a glass out of here without making a horrendous mess.
So the answer to the question of can I save this glass is a resounding no. I spent some time trying to unsnap the little plastic, I don't know what you'd call that, little mullion. It's not the mullion stays in place, but anyway, it's the plastic that holds the glass in. And then there's the sealant that the glass is stuck to the aluminum frame with. And I tried to pry it loose, and probably if I had more patience than I do, it might have worked, because I was making progress, but I was prying and then jimmying and prying and jimmying, and finally the glass broke. So I gave up on that one, and I said, well, maybe the bottom sash is better. I'm not sure why I thought that, so I spent some time on the bottom sash, and that one broke. And then I thought, well, maybe if I clean the glass real well and use my wife's glass cutter and just cut out the middle part, it's big enough to square it back up and get the pieces that I needed. So I got the glass cutter, cut around the perimeter, tapped on it, and I actually was making a little bit of progress. It's hard because typically when you snap glass, you score it and then you bend it, and I wasn't able to do that. So I scored it, and I was tapping all the way around, and the crack was progressing a little bit, but then it broke. So yeah, these went in the dumpster. So I contacted my tenant in my building up front, in front of the foundry, and yeah, in like 4 seconds he pulled a little piece of glass out of the scrap bin and cut me 4 of them. It took him less than a minute to cut 4 pieces of glass. So
Well, I just cut off the bottom to make it the same as the top, and I didn't hit any hardware, which was kind of nice, but boy, does it smell good. I'm sorry you guys can't smell that from here, but this is like the richest piece of cypress I've come across in a long time. So I decided to put a notch around the perimeter of this door, which is now a window, kind of like I did with those the green windows. So I'm going to cut 1.5 inches wide, and the depth to here all the way around is going to make the window kind of flimsy, I think, because I'm removing a lot of the strength, but once it gets screwed into place, it doesn't need any strength. So all right, so I'm put on my earmuffs. So we're going to make a lot of good smelling sawdust, probably some paint dust. Let's see what happens. So now I need to cut this a ways. I'm not gonna be able to hold a saw like that. I have to figure something out. Got a setup here that I think will work. I got the door clamped to the bench, so it's not going anywhere. I took 2 of my new boards that are just ripped in half and screwed them together, and that'll give my saw a better platform rather than trying to just hang on the edge of this and keep it straight. And I scribe the line. All I gotta do is follow the line, which yeah, that's all I gotta do. So pretty much the same thing. I just stood the door up, clamped it to the table. It's not gonna move. Clamped a guide. I'll get up there and make the cut. Unfortunately, the clamps are in the way, so I'm gonna have to cut like halfway, move a clamp, cut a little more, move another clamp, but no big deal. You know, flip the door over and do the bottom. And knock on wood, I have not hit a piece of metal yet. That's pretty amazing. Friend Mr. Jim fixed me up with some glass. See if it'll fit. Oh, it's hitting the thing. The nails from this trim are driven all the way through. I'm not sure what to do with that. Oh yeah. I got it. This one. Good. Oh, he made me 4. I asked for 3. That's it. All right, I'm gonna take them out, put a little bit of silicone caulk, no, a little bit of latex caulk, and drop them back in again. Let it set, and I have the original trims. I can nail that back on in a little while. Okay, starting on redwood siding is beautiful stuff, but somebody threw it away. Of course, nobody wants old wood hanging around their house. And Debbie is nailing. Much easier than those boards that she nailed the other day, because the redwood's softer and the structure is not quite as bouncy. My redwood boards are perfect, just long enough to square the end. Sorry. I was videotaping. Okay. My redwood, what'd you do?
I just hit the nail here.
Oh, no, just put another one. Just put another one.
Well, somebody's going to get stuck on that one.
No, they're not. Be their bad luck. Okay. These boards are perfect, just long enough to square the end and then go 42, 84 1/8. Cut them. I get 2 pieces out of each one, like no waste. I like that. So our window door fit perfectly. I did have to trim the opening 3 times with the jigsaw, but the window fit perfectly after I did that. And it looks kind of cool. It's the same height, the bottom. We matched the bottom with that one. So I have one more of these, and we're gonna put it right here. And this wall, we're not sure yet. But anyway, what I'm doing now is I'm fixing the handrail. I had originally put the handrail from the post to my round column, and it didn't match the edge. It didn't parallel with the edge, so I added a little piece of pine tree and scooted the long board out and put in a short board. Even though I got the short board kind of crooked, it's still better. It's still better. So I'm gonna pull these nails. I don't know why I nailed some and screwed some. I'm gonna pull these nails, pull these screws, swing it out there and screw it to this pine, and then cut a short piece to fit. All right, it's a new morning. This is our half day. We gotta head home today. I'm gonna start framing this wall. It's gonna be exactly like that wall, except with different siding. So I gotta get my top plate. That one was kind of funky. This one might be kind of funky too. I think I'm gonna, obviously it dies into here, and I got a nice perch for it. So let me put the board up there and clamp it, and then see what I need to do to support. Okay, I got a plan. That can fasten onto there. And then if I screw this little short piece here, I can put another piece on top of it to lift that up until it's level across, and fasten it and cut the excess off. Yeah. So then I clamped that little short piece, had to move it up and down until this is level, and I got it on the second try, unbelievably. So I can screw all this together. I can screw that down, take the jigsaw and cut off. Oh no, I can't. That's poking out the roof. That's poking out the roof, so that's not gonna work. Anyway, well, this is where it needs to go. I'm gonna have to fasten some sort of brace to have it right here. Darn it. I'll probably put a 2x across here to screw this to, and then wherever it's gonna start protruding from the roof, cut it off. But this is where it goes. So this little piece of our handrail was finished, but I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna put a round post right. I'm gonna put a round post right here. I'll be able to slide the handrail back 4 or 5 inches, and that's going to help when we come up the ladder from this hole. This is not here yet, and it's going to look better too, because right now it doesn't follow the line of the decking. So I'm going to do what I did on both these back corners: put a post, move it out, and extend this out. Did it there. I did it well. I've done all three of them with this one, so I'm going to take these boards off. Luckily they're screwed so they won't break. And yep, here's my post. Just need to set the post. Okay, the 2x4s are done, and they're pretty straight considering what I had to work with. I got the corner returns, and this will obviously continue one day. I didn't have a whole lot of meat up here. I'm going to put in another 2x6 so I can fasten the top a little better. But that's all good, and now I got to fit my post back. It's not going to go back where it was. It may end up going on the outside of that rafter, which is not my preferred, but better than having no posts. Let's see what it'll do. So this is my mark. That's the bottom of the rafter, and the other side's already kind of jacked up because I had it notched the first go around. So I'm just going to cut it off all the way, and we'll just screw it into the bottom of the rafter. All right, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I remembered my clamp this time, although I don't really need it because it's kind of tapped into place, and so lifted up that barge rafter just a scunch. So we're going to screw the bejeebies out of it, and then my bride is in charge of these little balusters, so she has two sides to do. That side is complete, this side is complete. Let me screw it up and go get some breakfast. This jack rafter in. I got more roof stripping, more stripping on this side, more stripping on this side. I got this jack rafter in. I finished the handrail, put post here, finished the handrail. Debbie put all the slats in. I put a post here and here, and redid this handrail to make it more copacetic. And we built this wall out of some beautiful redwood center mesh, V-groove, whatever you want to call it, and put in the door, which is now a window. It's cool beans, man. It's cool beans. So tomorrow, I don't know how long we're gonna work, but maybe we'll work long enough. We want to get the other window, which matches that one, right here. So that really wouldn't be that much work. Frame this wall, put in a window. Yep, maybe. I got my first two long pieces of redwood up. I say long, 87 inches. Probably sticking out of the roof. I'll have to deal with that later. And now I've got a bunch of 42s. I should have plenty for that. To get past the window, I don't know if I got enough redwood to go all the way to the corner. I was thinking about putting something else on top of the window to save boards. But it's only 16 inches, and I can use some of my bad pieces of redwood like this. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go as far as I can until I run out of redwood. And then we'll put the window in, and I'm picking up, calling it a day. Window is in, and it looks pretty good, except I got one of the 2x4s real crooked. I'm not gonna show that because it's embarrassing. So as much as I'd like to keep on going, it's probably quitting time. This is day 3, and I'm kind of tired. And oh, I'm showing that crooked 2x4. And I got a good long while of picking up stuff and cleaning up. So let's call it a day. So, okay. I don't know where I can get a good view of this, but anyway.
Once again, thanks for watching.